Your eyes are constantly at work. From the moment you wake up, they adjust instantly to the light in the room, help you recognize your surroundings, and focus on the text of your phone's screen before your brain is even fully awake. They process tens of thousands of visual signals every hour, coordinating with your brain to create the world you see. Despite this extraordinary effort, most people take their vision for granted. They assume their eyes will keep working no matter how much stress they face. But the reality is that eyesight is fragile, and many of the problems people encounter later in life are the result of habits formed years earlier. One of the biggest modern challenges for eye health is digital strain. Humans were never meant to spend hours staring at glowing rectangles just inches from their faces. The eye muscles are designed to shift between distances, constantly changing focus as we move through the environment. When those muscles are locked into a single position for hours, fatigue builds up. You've probably felt it yourself. The heavy, tired sensation in your eyes after a long day at work, the slight blur that makes words harder to read, or even the dull headache that creeps in after scrolling on your phone too long. The solution seems almost too simple, but it works. The 20-20-20 rule is one of the easiest habits you can adopt to protect your vision. Every 20 minutes, look at something at least 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This small pause resets the focusing system of the eyes, relaxes the ciliary muscles, and prevents strain from turning into pain. Combined with conscious blinking, something that naturally decreases when you're staring at a screen, you can dramatically reduce dryness and irritation. Screens themselves are not the enemy, it's the way we use them. By adding breaks, blinking often, and adjusting the angle and distance of your devices, you can turn hours of screen time into a manageable part of life, instead of a constant assault on your vision. This is the first habit that truly saves eyesight, respecting the natural limits of your eyes in a digital world. It doesn't require expensive equipment or complicated exercises. It simply requires awareness and consistency. If you commit to giving your eyes those tiny breaks throughout the day, you'll not only feel immediate relief but also build long-term resilience, ensuring your vision stays sharp for years to come. Most people are aware that the sun can burn their skin, but they often forget that light also silently damages their eyes. The same ultraviolet rays that create wrinkles, sunspots, and skin cancer are just as harmful to the delicate tissues of the eye. Every moment outdoors without protection allows UV radiation to penetrate the cornea, lens, and retina. Unlike skin, which can sometimes repair itself, many eye structures cannot regenerate once the damage is done. That means the harm is cumulative, slowly building over the years until one day you are told you have cataracts, macular degeneration, or growths that distort your vision. It doesn't take a sunny beach day to cause this damage. Ultraviolet rays cut through clouds and bounce off reflective surfaces like water, sand, snow, and even concrete. People who spend a lifetime outdoors without sunglasses often find themselves struggling with vision problems far earlier than those who protected their eyes. The tragedy is that this damage is so easily preventable. Proper sunglasses are not fashion statements. They are medical tools. But the key is choosing the right kind. Dark lenses without UV protection can actually make things worse, because they dilate the pupils, allowing even more radiation to enter the eye. The right pair will clearly say they block 99 or 100% of both UVA and UVB rays. Wraparound designs are even better, shielding light that sneaks in from the side. When you make this habit part of your daily life, slipping on sunglasses every time you leave the house, you do more than reduce glare. You actively lower your risk of cataracts, macular degeneration, and even cancers around the eyelid. The difference may not show tomorrow or next year, but decades later the payoff is enormous. Protecting your eyes outdoors is as important as brushing your teeth every morning. Simple, repetitive, and absolutely essential. Light from the sun isn't the only concern. In our modern world, artificial blue light has become a constant companion. The sun naturally emits blue light, and during daylight hours it plays a healthy role in keeping us awake, regulating our circadian rhythm, and improving alertness. The problem comes from the flood of artificial sources. LED lighting, smartphone screens, tablets, and computer monitors. Unlike the sun, which shifts in color and intensity through the day, these devices often blast us with intense blue light late into the evening, tricking the brain into believing it's still daytime. The result is disrupted sleep, restless nights, and tired eyes the next day. Blue light also contributes to digital eye strain. Prolonged exposure makes it harder to focus, increases glare sensitivity, and may contribute to long-term retinal stress. Scientists are still studying whether cumulative blue light accelerates retinal degeneration, but there is already enough evidence to treat it with caution. Even if the risk is moderate, the sheer number of hours modern people spend staring at glowing screens magnifies the potential harm. Thankfully, there are simple adjustments you can make. Many devices now include built-in night modes or comfort view settings that filter harsh blue tones after sunset. Specialized screen protectors and glasses with blue light filtering coatings are widely available, and they can make late-night work or study sessions far less fatiguing. Positioning screens correctly also helps. Keep them slightly below eye level and at arm's length, so the natural downward gaze reduces exposure and limits glare. But perhaps the most powerful habit of all is reducing screen use before bed. For centuries, humans ended their days with firelight, candlelight, or darkness, cues that told the brain it was time to sleep. Now, the glow of smartphones and TVs pushes that moment later and later. By turning off devices an hour before bedtime, dimming household lights, and choosing calming activities like reading a paper book or stretching, you allow melatonin production to rise naturally. Not only does this improve sleep quality, but it also relieves the eyes from late-night strain. The comfort benefits are immediate. People who consistently wear sunglasses outdoors notice less squinting, fewer headaches, and sharper vision even on bright days. Those who moderate blue light exposure often find they fall asleep faster and wake with clearer, more comfortable eyes. Over time, these small adjustments prevent cumulative harm and preserve vision well into the future. Imagine two lives. In one, a person forgets their sunglasses, squints into the sun daily, and scrolls on their phone until midnight. 20 years later, their eye doctor finds cataracts forming earlier than expected and warns of early macular changes. Their sleep is poor, their eyes feel dry every morning, and their vision is clouded. In the other life, the same person builds small but consistent habits. Sunglasses are always in their bag, devices switch to warm tones in the evening, screens go off before bed. Years later, their vision is sharper, their sleep deeper, and their quality of life higher. The difference isn't luck, it's choice. Light is both a gift and a threat. It allows you to see the world, regulate your body's rhythms, and connect with your surroundings. But without protection, it silently erodes your vision. The balance is simple. Shield your eyes outdoors, manage your artificial light indoors, and you will create conditions for decades of healthy sight. No complicated tools, no expensive treatments, just awareness and habit. Respect the light, and your eyes will reward you with clarity long into the future. When people think about protecting their eyes, they often imagine glasses, protective lenses, or medical treatment. Very few stop to consider the daily fuel that powers and protects the visual system: nutrition. The food you eat does not only build muscles and bones. It also nourishes the retina, strengthens blood vessels in the eyes, and provides the raw materials for the tear film that keeps vision clear. Every bite is a choice, and over years those choices decide whether your eyes stay resilient or slowly decline. The retina, the thin layer of light-sensitive tissue at the back of the eye, is one of the most metabolically active tissues in the entire body. It burns energy at a rapid pace, consumes oxygen constantly, and produces free radicals as byproduct. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can damage cells if they are not neutralized. That is where antioxidants come in. compounds that intercept and neutralize free radicals before they cause harm. Without enough antioxidants, the retina becomes overwhelmed, leading to cellular breakdown and vision problems. Age-related macular degeneration, AMD, a leading cause of vision loss in older adults, is strongly linked to oxidative stress. That is why nutrition is not optional for eye health. It is the shield that stands between your eyes and damage. Vitamin A is the classic nutrient associated with vision, and it is absolutely vital. It helps form rhodopsin, the protein in your retina that allows you to see in dim light. Deficiency in vitamin A leads to night blindness and, in severe cases, complete blindness. While carrots are famous for their beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, they are not the only source. Sweet potatoes, spinach, kale, red peppers, and even animal liver are rich in this nutrient. Building meals with these foods ensures that your night vision and corneal health remain strong. Vitamin C is another cornerstone. Abundant in citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwi, and bell peppers, vitamin C supports the health of blood vessels in the eyes and reduces the risk of cataracts. The lens of the eye, which focuses light, contains some of the highest concentrations of vitamin C in the body, showing just how crucial it is. Vitamin E, found in nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils, complements vitamin C by protecting cell membranes from oxidative stress. Together, these antioxidants form a team that prevents damage before it becomes permanent. Zinc is often overlooked, but it plays a critical role by transporting vitamin A from the liver to the retina. Without zinc, vitamin A cannot reach where it is needed most. Foods like beans, nuts, whole grains, and lean meats provide zinc. Selenium, another trace mineral found in Brazil nuts and seafood, also contributes by supporting antioxidant enzymes. These micronutrients might not grab headlines, but without them the entire visual system is weaker. Then there are carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin, sometimes called the internal sunglasses for the eyes. These pigments accumulate in the macula, the very center of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. Their role is to filter harmful blue light and reduce glare sensitivity. High levels of lutein and zeaxanthin are consistently associated with lower risk of macular degeneration. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are powerful sources, as are corn, peas, and egg yolk. Even brightly colored fruits like orange peppers provide them. By regularly consuming these foods, you are literally building a natural shield inside your eyes. Omega-3 fatty acids deserve special mention. Found abundantly in fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, as well as plant sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, omega-3s are essential for the structure of retinal cell membranes. They also fight inflammation throughout the body and are particularly important for tear quality. People who consume adequate omega-3s often notice fewer symptoms of dry eye, such as burning or grittiness. In today's world, where hours of screen use and climate-controlled environments dry out the eyes, omega-3s are not just beneficial, they are essential. Hydration itself cannot be ignored. Tears are not just water, they are a complex mixture of oils, proteins, and salts. But without enough fluid in the body, the entire system suffers. Dehydration makes eyes dry, irritated, and more vulnerable to infection. Mild dehydration alone can double the discomfort of screen-related dryness. Drinking enough water, eating hydrating foods like cucumbers, melons, and citrus fruits, and balancing your intake of caffeine and alcohol all directly influence tear stability. Scientific evidence strongly supports these links. The EREDS, Age-Related Eye Disease Study, and ARDS-2 trials, conducted by the National Eye Institute, followed thousands of participants over years. They found that specific nutritional formulas, combinations of vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, copper, lutein, and zeaxanthin, significantly slowed the progression of advanced macular degeneration. These were not miracle cures, but they proved beyond doubt that nutrition directly alters the course of eye disease. For people at risk, the right nutrients, extended years of useful vision. But nutrition is not only about avoiding disease. It is also about daily comfort and performance. Someone who eats a diet heavy in processed foods, fried oils, and sugar often feels sluggish, and their eyes reflect that state. They may experience more dryness, slower adaptation between light and dark, and greater sensitivity to glare. Meanwhile, a person who fuels themselves with balanced meals rich in greens, fish, nuts, and fresh fruits experiences sharper focus, less fatigue, and better resilience against stress. Consider two different individuals. The first is a middle-aged office worker who relies on fast food for lunch, sugary snacks for energy, and soda to stay awake. Over the years, their blood vessels become weaker, their antioxidant defenses diminish, and their eyes begin to feel constantly tired. By their 50s, they are told they have early cataracts and dry eye syndrome. The second person, with the same job and same stress, makes slightly different choices. A salad with leafy greens at lunch, nuts instead of candy, water instead of soda, fish twice a week. Decades later, their eyes remain clearer, their retina healthier, and their vision stronger. These differences are not the result of genetics alone but of consistent nutritional habit. The empowering part is that these changes are accessible to everyone. You do not need exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. Everyday ingredients, spinach, carrots, oranges, fish, seeds, are available in almost every grocery store. What matters is consistency. Eating a carrot once a week won't change your vision. But building a diet where antioxidant-rich and omega-3 rich foods are staples gradually strengthens your eyes the way regular exercise strengthens muscles. Supplements can play a role, especially for people with dietary restrictions or higher risk factors. But they should never replace whole foods. Nutrients in food work synergistically, combining in ways that capsules cannot replicate. Supplements should fill gaps, not become the foundation. The first line of defense should always be meals designed with vision in mind. In practice, building this habit doesn't have to be complicated. Start with small steps. Add a handful of spinach to your morning omelet, swap chips for almonds, prepare salmon once a week, drink water with every meal. Over time, these changes become automatic. The goal is not perfection, it is persistence. Day by day, you are investing in clarity that will last a lifetime. Nutrition and hydration for the eyes are about prevention, comfort, and longevity. They are habits that may feel invisible at first, but their impact is unmistakable over years. Just as brushing your teeth daily prevents decay that might only appear decades later, eating for your eyes prevents decline you cannot see coming until it is too late. With every healthy meal and every glass of water, you are protecting not just your vision, but your independence, your freedom, and your ability to experience the world in all its vivid detail. Your eyes are among the most exposed organs in your body. Unlike your heart or your brain, they are not hidden behind bone or layers of skin. They are right on the surface, constantly in contact with the environment. That exposure makes them extremely vulnerable to bacteria, viruses, allergens, and mechanical stress. Protecting them doesn't always require advanced medicine. More often, it comes down to daily hygiene and the small choices you make over and over again. One of the most common bad habits is rubbing your eyes. People rub them when they are tired, itchy, or stressed. It feels good for a moment, almost like scratching an itch, but the consequences can be serious. Your hands carry bacteria and viruses from everything you touch: your phone, money, keyboards, doorknobs. Even when your hands look clean, they are covered with microbes. When you rub your eyes, you transfer those microbes directly onto the conjunctiva, the thin membrane covering your eye. That is why infections like conjunctivitis spread so quickly. Beyond germs, rubbing also physically stresses the cornea. For some people, chronic rubbing weakens it over time, contributing to conditions like keratoconus, where the cornea thins and bulges, distorting vision. What seems like a harmless reflex can, over years, lead to irreversible damage. The safer response to itchiness is to use lubricating eye drops, place a cool compress over closed eyes, or simply rest them in darkness for a few minutes. For the millions who wear contact lenses, hygiene is even more critical. A contact lens sits directly on your cornea, creating a barrier that reduces oxygen flow and provides a surface where bacteria can thrive if cleanliness is neglected. The difference between healthy, comfortable lens wear and dangerous complications comes down to habit. Washing hands thoroughly with soap and water before touching lenses is non-negotiable. Using tap water or saliva to clean lenses is unsafe. Only sterile solution is acceptable. Lens cases must be cleaned and replaced regularly, and lenses must never be worn beyond their recommended schedule. Many infections occur not because the lenses themselves are faulty, but because people overwear them, sleep in them when they shouldn't, or fail to replace solution daily. Microbial keratitis, a painful infection that can scar the cornea permanently, is almost always linked to poor hygiene. Respecting the simple rules prevents risks that could cost you your sight. Cosmetics are another factor often overlooked. Makeup products, especially eyeliner and mascara, come into direct contact with the eyelids and lashes. If they are expired, contaminated, or used carelessly, they can block the oil glands that keep the eyes lubricated, causing inflammation. Blepharitis, chronic eyelid irritation, is often linked to poor cosmetic hygiene. Sharing makeup with others spreads bacteria and viruses, and sleeping with makeup on leaves particles pressed against your eye for hours. The solution is not to avoid cosmetics entirely, but to use them responsibly. Replace mascara every 3 months. Wash brushes and applicators regularly. Avoid placing eyeliner directly on the waterline where it can block glands. And always remove makeup completely before bed. Work and hobbies present other hidden risks. Every year, thousands of eye injuries occur from activities like woodworking, metal grinding, cleaning with chemicals, or even playing sports. A single splash of bleach or a stray piece of debris can damage vision permanently. Yet many people skip protective eyewear because it feels unnecessary or inconvenient. The irony is that simple safety glasses could prevent the vast majority of these accidents. Just as you would not ride a bike without a helmet, you should not use tools, handle strong chemicals, or play high-contact sports without eye protection. It is a habit that feels minor until the day it saves your sight. Indoor environments also matter. Air conditioning and heating systems dry out the air, causing tears to evaporate faster. Hours spent in these environments lead to dry, irritated eyes. Adding a humidifier, taking breaks, and drinking water throughout the day make a noticeable difference. Smoking, whether directly or secondhand, also harms eye health, increasing the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration. Avoiding smoke is one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can take for your vision. Sleep and stress are additional layers of daily hygiene. During sleep, the eyes are replenished with moisture and repaired on a cellular level. Chronic sleep deprivation leaves them red, tired, and more vulnerable to strain. Stress often manifests as eye twitching, headaches, or blurred vision. Managing stress with breathing exercises, short walks, or meditation benefits not just your mind but also your eyes. In this sense, hygiene is not only about cleanliness, it is about the environment you create for your eyes to function comfortably. The lesson is simple. Your daily routines either protect your vision or put it at risk. Every time you wash your hands before touching your eyes, every time you remove your makeup carefully, every time you reach for protective glasses instead of taking chances, you are making an investment. These actions seem small, but accumulated over years they form the foundation of lifelong eye health. Clear vision is something most people assume will always be there. You open your eyes in the morning, and the world simply appears in focus. But the truth is that eyesight can change quietly, without pain or warning. Some of the most serious conditions, like glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or cataracts, develop slowly, often unnoticed until the damage is advanced. That is why regular eye exams are one of the most powerful habits you can build. An eye exam is much more than reading letters from a chart. It is a full health check for your eyes. During an exam, a doctor can measure eye pressure to detect glaucoma early, examine the retina for signs of degeneration, and even spot the first signs of diseases like high blood pressure or diabetes. Many people first learn they have these systemic conditions from an eye exam. By catching problems early, treatment can start when it is most effective, sometimes preserving decades of good vision. The mistake people make is waiting until vision feels blurry before scheduling a visit. By then, irreversible damage may already have occurred. A smarter habit is prevention. Scheduling regular exams every 1 or 2 years, depending on your age and risk factors. For children, exams are equally important, since undiagnosed vision problems can hold back learning and development. For adults, consistent checkups ensure small changes are addressed before they grow into major challenges. Prevention is not about one single action. It is about combining habits. Taking breaks from screens, protecting against UV light, eating nourishing foods, practicing good hygiene, and visiting the eye doctor. Each step reinforces the others, like pieces of armor covering different vulnerabilities. None of these habits take much time, but together they can mean the difference between struggling with vision loss and enjoying clear sight into old age. Think about what vision gives you: the ability to read, to drive safely, to recognize loved ones' faces instantly, to enjoy the beauty of a sunset, to work, to travel, to live independently. Losing that gift changes everything. The good news is that much of this loss can be prevented. Every time you put on sunglasses, drink a glass of water, eat a plate of leafy greens, wash your hands before touching your eyes, or schedule an exam, you are casting a vote for your future self. Your eyes are not replaceable. They are the only pair you will ever have. Protecting them is not about fear, it is about respect. Respect for the incredible work they do every second of your life, and respect for the quality of life they make possible. With small, consistent choices, you can preserve that clarity, that independence, and that connection to the world. The time to start is now. Clear vision is something most people assume will always be there. You open your eyes in the morning, and the world simply appears in focus. But the truth is that eyesight can change quietly, without pain or warning. Some of the most serious conditions, like glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or cataracts, develop slowly, often unnoticed until the damage is advanced. That is why regular eye exams are one of the most powerful habits you can build. An eye exam is much more than reading letters from a chart. It is a full health check for your eyes. During an exam, a doctor can measure eye pressure to detect glaucoma early, examine the retina for signs of degeneration, and even spot the first signs of diseases like high blood pressure or diabetes. Many people first learn they have these systemic conditions from an eye exam. By catching problems early, treatment can start when it is most effective, sometimes preserving decades of good vision. The mistake people make is waiting until vision feels blurry before scheduling a visit. By then, irreversible damage may already have occurred. A smarter habit is prevention. Scheduling regular exams every 1 or 2 years, depending on your age and risk factors. For children, exams are equally important, since undiagnosed vision problems can hold back learning and development. For adults, consistent checkups ensure small changes are addressed before they grow into major challenges. Prevention is not about one single action. It is about combining habits. Taking breaks from screens, protecting against UV light, eating nourishing foods, practicing good hygiene, and visiting the eye doctor. Each step reinforces the others, like pieces of armor covering different vulnerabilities. None of these habits take much time, but together they can mean the difference between struggling with vision loss and enjoying clear sight into old age. Think about what vision gives you: the ability to read, to drive safely, to recognize loved ones' faces instantly, to enjoy the beauty of a sunset, to work, to travel, to live independently. Losing that gift changes everything. The good news is that much of this loss can be prevented. Every time you put on sunglasses, drink a glass of water, eat a plate of leafy greens, wash your hands before touching your eyes, or schedule an exam, you are casting a vote for your future self. Your eyes are not replaceable. They are the only pair you will ever have. Protecting them is not about fear, it is about respect. Respect for the incredible work they do every second of your life, and respect for the quality of life they make possible. With small, consistent choices, you can preserve that clarity, that independence, and that connection to the world. The time to start is now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more videos about your precious health.